It's about time the Boston Red Sox did this. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin. The Boston Red Sox are shaking things up a bit before maybe the biggest series of the year up until this point against the Kansas City Royals. And in my opinion, this is a move that's going to be hugely important for the Red Sox, both as they head into the break and as they head into the MLB deadline. So what we are going to do in today's video is we're going to break this move down. What's going on, who's leaving, who's coming in, and obviously why it's important to the 2024 Boston Red Sox. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. Okay, so the move that we are talking about in today's video is a move that just happened a couple of hours ago, and that was the Red Sox recalling starting pitcher Cooper Criswell from AAA Worcester. Well, at least that's the first part of this move, and as many of you guys know, Cooper Criswell has been a really solid starter at the major league level for the Boston Red Sox, because so far this season at the big league level, Cooper Criswell has a .415 ERA in 12 games, 11 of those being starts, with a bit lower FIP of 3.71, meaning he was a bit unlucky with that ERA in the MLB. It actually should be a bit lower than that. His WHIP is at 1.212, which is a little bit of traffic, but it's nothing super crazy, and he has an ERA plus of 105, meaning he's been about 5% more productive than the average starter in Major League Baseball at the MLB level this year. He also has a career low walk rate of 2.3 per 9 innings and striking out a solid 8.5 per 9. The big thing I think with the Sox, and the reason why they sent him down to AAA, is that they were trying to balance out their bullpen over a stretch where they had a pretty decent amount of off days, and Cooper Criswell having options just sort of got stuck in the crossfires here. Now, normally what we do in these videos is I take a look at what these guys have been doing in AAA, what they've been working on, and how that could get improved coming back up to the major league level, and we're still going to do that, but I thought it'd be a little bit more interesting if you guys heard from Cooper Criswell himself as to what he's been working on in his time in AAA. Luckily for us, I was able to catch up with him yesterday and ask him exactly that. So here is my interview with Cooper Criswell on what he's been doing in AAA to get himself prepared for Major League Baseball. All right, we're here with Cooper Criswell. Cooper, what has been sort of the biggest adjustment you've been working on here in Worcester?
I would say been focused on trying to get back in the strike zone with my pitches, and trying to just really work ahead in counts. Getting ahead with the strike one and attacking from there, trying to throw a few less pitches each inning than what I was the past few starts up there. So really just trying to focus in and get back in the zone with all 4 pitches.
Okay. Is there anything particular pitch-wise that you're working on? Like, is there a specific pitch that's sort of taking advantage of, or taking?
Yeah, I feel like I've been focusing on the cutter some against the lefties. Been getting some good results with that, and then sweeper haven't been throwing it the best down here, but as far as all the other 3, I've been very pleased with the sinker, cutter, and changeup.
Okay, and then what's sort of the mindset? I know Craig Breslow came out the other day, said, hey, Coop could be in line for the start on Friday, or tomorrow, I guess, by the time we're recording this. What's the mindset for you, like, trying to, stay focused on what you're doing here while also trying to manage going up there?
Yeah, I feel like I try to, I've done this role the past 3 years as far as going up and down, so just try to, stay level-headed as possible, and, whenever I'm here in Worcester, be present every single day and enjoy hanging out with the guys, and same thing whenever I'm up there, be present and enjoy hanging out with the guys. Just try not to take any days for granted, but obviously, you want to be up there at the end of the day, so. But as far as pitching and stuff, I try to do the same thing, same game plan down here as up there, just attacking the strike zone, mixing up pitches, and whenever I'm able to do that successfully, throw all my pitches for strikes, I've seen some success there and here, so that's really it.
Yeah. And then I gotta ask, because you had a pretty nice mustache when you were, well, actually, I guess at the beginning of the year in general, but in your opinion, outside of yourself, who had the best mustache between here and the Red Sox?
Ooh, Mickey's got a good one.
Yeah, he does.
He's got a real good one. I would say Mickey. Mine wasn't very good, but we rocked with it. And then once I got sent down, I shaved it off. I had to switch it up a little bit. But yeah, I would say Mickey's probably got the best one.
Any plans to bring it back anytime soon?
We'll see. Probably, maybe not.
Then a couple rapid fire questions here. Pedro Martinez or Roger Clemens?
Pedro.
Pedro easily. Would you rather have the best fastball in the entire sport or the best off-speed pitch in the entire sport?
I'll never have a chance to have the best fastball, so we'll go off speed.
All right, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, so first things first, a massive thank you to Cooper Criswell for taking a second out of his day and chatting with us here at Red Seat Radio. He's an incredibly nice guy, but talking about the interview itself, there was one thing that really stood out to me, and that is that Cooper Criswell didn't go down there just to lollygag and sort of bide his time until he's back on the major league team. He legitimately went down there. He worked on a lot of things here, especially with his cutter and the command in the strike zone, really trying to get himself ready for the next time his name is called. Obviously, tonight being the night that happens, and I think that's a really impressive thing for Cooper Criswell. I think it's a really interesting mentality that he has where he's like, hey, I'm just going to keep improving myself, and when I'm needed, I'm going to get up there and I'm going to perform. It's a great mentality to have as someone who's probably going to bounce around a little bit. He's already done that a bit throughout his career, so shout out to Cooper Criswell for that mentality. But the reason this move, in my opinion, is really important is because of one singular thing, and that is innings. Today was either Cooper Criswell or a bullpen game for the Boston Red Sox. We talked earlier today that you're starting to see the cracks a little bit start to form in that bullpen, not because of the talent that's in there, but because of how much they've been being used lately. Going into one of the most important series of the season, you want to put your best foot forward, and being able to throw a guy who you know is going to be able, or hopefully be able to give you at least a few innings here is going to be wildly important. It's going to be also very important coming out of the All-Star break. Yes, this bullpen's going to get a nice bit of rest here. They're going to be able to kick back and relax for a few days, really rejuvenate, but it's still going to be a lot of innings on these arms coming out of the All-Star break. Getting Cooper Criswell up here and allowing your bullpen a bit more flexibility is going to be hugely important to this team's success, and I think that's the biggest reason why this move is so important to me, because it means that the Red Sox are trying to allocate innings that they're going to figure out at least until the deadline if they're still in a buying position, which God knows they better be, especially for us Red Sox fans that need this team to keep competing. But either way, I think the importance of this move is basically you need someone to eat innings, and Cooper Criswell can do that, and do that at a pretty well level. Even if he comes up here and pitches to the tune of what he pitched at the major league level this year, that's a really solid number for a starter. Now, the biggest sort of knock on Cooper Criswell this season is the fact that he really hasn't had a ton of innings, right? His starts were mostly, hey, 4 1/3, 4 2/3. Maybe you get through that fifth inning. What's going to be interesting now that he's being called up is what they're going to do with that inning limit. Now, down in AAA, he did make 3 separate starts, and of those 3 starts, 2 of them he got into the 6th inning. One of them was 1 out in the 6th inning. The other one, he made it all the way through that 6th inning. I'm curious to see, especially with the break coming up, how the Red Sox utilize him in today's game. If he gives up 2, 3, maybe even 4 runs, if they let him go a 90, 100 pitches here to try and conserve some of that bullpen energy, or if maybe they do still have a quick hook on him. To me, that's going to be the most interesting part of what he's going to look like at the major league level. I have a lot of faith that Cooper Criswell will be relatively solid at the big league level. What I'm expecting from Coop over the next few weeks here is going to be 4.5, 5 innings, 5 1/3 innings of just 2, 3 run, maybe even 4 run baseball. Allow your offense to stay in these games, and I think you're doing a really good job, because at the end of the day, even if you give up 4 runs, the offense has been great lately, and on top of that, you're helping out the bullpen a whole lot, and I think those are 2 really important things the Red Sox need to nail down. On top of that, they also did have to send somebody down in order to get Cooper Criswell onto the roster, and that move was to option newly acquired pitcher Trey Wingenter down to AAA Worcester, and I actually think this may be the smart move. The reason for that is because the Red Sox can now really sort of hone in on trying to get Trey's command under control. That's the big thing with him, right? We talked about it when he got traded over here. If he can get his walk rate down, he could probably be a pretty solid pitcher at the major league level. This allows the Red Sox to sort of tinker and succeed and fail with things without having the pressure putting him into big league situations and win or lose games at the big league level. I think it's a really smart move by the Boston Red Sox. And of course, as I'm recording this video about an important roster move, we also got a really unfortunately important injury we got to talk about as well, because just a couple of minutes ago, Justin Slaten has been placed on the IL with elbow inflammation, which is never a good thing. Justin Slaten has been such a massive part of this Red Sox bullpen. It's really going to change the dynamic a little bit, especially if he's out for a significant period of time. Now, obviously, anytime you hear anything about elbows, it is never a good thing. It usually leads to something bigger, but we have seen in the past, especially with this Red Sox team this year, cases where it doesn't. Nick Pivetta had elbow inflammation right around opening day this year, and we thought he was done for the season. It took him a few weeks to come back, but he did end up coming back in a minimal amount of time. So there is hope here with Justin Slaten, but this is a big hit to the Sox bullpen. Justin Slaten this season has a 338 average with a much lower 244 FIP, meaning he's getting very unlucky on the mound, and that ERA should be much lower than it actually is. He only has a whip of 1.031, getting close to less one hit or walk per inning pitched. He's striking out 9.5 guys, walking only 1.2 per 9 innings, and his ERA plus, that's sitting at 129. He's been 29% better than the average pitcher in Major League Baseball this year. With Chris Martin out for an undisclosed amount of time either, this is going to be really interesting because Justin Slaten had stepped into that high leverage role. I don't really know where the Red Sox go with their high leverage spot. I think Zach Kelly is a pretty clear option here to start getting some high leverage options, but outside of him, it's going to be interesting to see how the Red Sox navigate this Justin Slaten injury. Obviously, it's never good news when your rookie, who's been absolutely fantastic and killing it, has to take a step back. Hopefully, he's back as soon as humanly possible because, man, this just flat out sucks. The player who's coming up to replace him is Cam Boozer, who we talked about earlier. He's been pretty solid this entire year. He had a big moment in the Yankees series. I like that they called Cam Boozer up. I think he's going to be a solid piece for this bullpen, but overall, I hate talking about injuries, and this was supposed to be a pretty happy video because we were getting Cooper Criswell back, but of course, it has to be ruined with something like this. Either way, Justin Slaten's out for a minimum of 15 days. We got to see sort of where he's at in terms of tests and whatnot. I'm assuming we will probably get some more information later next week. I would assume probably Monday or Tuesday we get some information. They usually, unless it's something super serious, they don't tend to do imaging until the next business day. So we'll see what this ends up with Justin Slaten, but definitely something to worry about here with this Red Sox bullpen that's already showing a bit of crackage. And we talked about it a lot in this video and in the other video today. It's just not the right time for the Red Sox to start getting some bullpen injuries. But overall, when we're looking at everything as a whole, I'm pumped to get Cooper Criswell back up. I think it makes sense to option Trey. I think he's also could be, if they could figure him out quickly, an interesting option with the absence of Chris Martin and Justin Slaten. Obviously, the Justin Slaten news really kind of hurts. I love Justin Slaten. I think he was really developing into a big-time pitcher for this Red Sox team, but I am happy to get Cam Boozer back. I like Cam Boozer. I think he's been solid this year, and I think he will do a solid job in the Red Sox bullpen. So let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think of the injury, and what do you think that impact's going to look like on the team? What do you think about the promotion? What do you think that impact's going to look like on the team? Let me know all your thoughts on the latest, very important actually, Red Sox roster moves in the comment section down below. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Sox almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. It just helps these videos out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Don't forget, if you are interested, you can get these episodes anywhere you listen to podcasts. Just head over to your favorite podcasting app and look up Red Seat Radio. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Unfortunately, it ended on a bad note, but I will still see you in the red seats.